Howell, City Hall Bureau Chief with City and State. Joining me on today's City and State TV is Sean McLoughlin. He's the Labor Director for Emblem Health. Thank you for joining us today, Sean.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the Heroes of Labor event that you are hosting along with the Labor Press. Tell me a little bit about the history of the event and why Emblem Health is involved in kind of hosting and moderating the event.
This is the third year we are sponsoring and hosting the Heroes of Labor event. The event originally came to be through a conversation with the Labor Press and Emblem Health, where we decided not just to do a traditional sponsorship, but we wanted to do something unique, something special. So we formulated the idea of putting on a signature event, really to honor the rank and file, the everyday workers, the individuals that make so many of the labor unions so great.
Now, you're honoring this year 12 people from a variety of different labor unions around the city. Tell me how you picked some of the honorees and if there are any specific stories behind the honorees that stand out to you.
You know, every year we go through a vetting process of people that were nominated by their union presidents or their leadership within the union. And every year we have a very, very hard time going through the applications because there's so many human interest stories, whether it's Hurricane Sandy or different things in the city that are happening. So we have a vetting committee and we basically go through the applications, and we do have time constraints with the actual event itself. So we try and limit the amount of people that we honor and nominate to around 10 to 12. And so there's a whole vetting process that happens between the Labor Press and Emblem Health.
And are there any specific stories about any of the honorees that you wanted to share with our audience?
This year, for the first time ever, we have a special tribute award, and we'll be honoring the memory of Richie Sheehan, who is the past president of IBT Local 802, the bakery drivers. Richie spent 20 years on an Entenmann's truck. In 2001, he had the opportunity to become shop steward, and he quickly rose the ranks of leadership, becoming a vice president and eventually the president of the local. The entire time never forgetting where he came from, advocating for the rights of his union employees, fair wages, decent working conditions, and it'll be a special night where we'll pay tribute to him and to his memory and his legacy of leadership. We have a number of people coming out to help us honor him. Jerry Gallo, who's the Vice President of Sales at Emblem Health, will be actually facilitating the ceremony for Richie. We'll have Jerry Fasano, who's the new president of IBT. Local 802 will be there, as well as a president from Local 202, who's a 20-year friend of Richie. And of course, we'll have Richie's wife there to accept the award in his behalf.
Now, in terms of Emblem Health's role in kind of just organized labor, why did you feel it was important for the company to get involved in an event like this, honoring organized men and women from organized labor?
Emblem Health has a 75-year history of being part of the labor movement within New York and New York City. So it was a natural transition for us to go ahead and come up with an event where we could actually honor the individuals within the labor movement that make this city so great.
And Labor Press, how did you decide to collaborate with them? Obviously, they're very in the mix in terms of delivering news about organized labor. But what about them kind of struck you as a perfect partner for this event?
So the Labor Press is a news and resource information that advocates for labor rights. Their membership or the readership is predominantly our membership. So they touch a lot of people that we interact with every day. So there's a lot of synergy between the Labor Press and what they do and what Emblem Health's goals and missions are as far as being a presence in the labor community and supporting the labor community.
Now, nationally, we've seen kind of a pushback against some of organized labor, with right-to-work laws and things like that. So does that kind of amplify or raise the importance of an event like this, where you're kind of taking a step back and saying, hey, look, these are the people that kind of make our city and state work, and it's kind of all the various industries that they're involved in. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So this event is less about the politics of labor and more focuses on the honorees of the night. the individuals that their stories are never told. And so it's a night for us to really spotlight their efforts and what they have done, and really honor their unbelievable, remarkable efforts that they've done, whether it's community service, advocating for members' rights, giving a choice and giving a voice to children and minorities, and physical acts of valor.
Great. And before we wrap up, is there anything you wanted to add about the events? Maybe give a plug about the location, time, date?
Sure. The event will happen on October 2nd at Emblem Health on the third floor conference rooms. It is sold out. We're at capacity for the third year in a row. We've had unbelievable support from labor unions that want to come back year in and year out and honor their members, and it's growing. So hopefully we'll have another good event, and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, it's always a special night when you can bring so many people together and really honor what they've done as far as supporting the labor community and honor what they mean to this great city of New York.
An event not to be missed. Sean McLoughlin, he's the labor director for Emblem Health. Thank you for joining us today, Sean.
Thank you.